السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفاه وبعد. My dear viewers, welcome to another live edition of Ask Huda, approaching the end of the blessed month of Ramadan 1441 with the final stretch. May the Almighty Allah accept from all of us. Ameen. In the beginning of this episode, allow me to remind you with our contact informations. For those who would like to drop us a call, area code 002, then 0238555131. Alternatively, excuse me, area code 002, then 010054693323. And the WhatsApp numbers, area code 001-347-80625. And finally, area code 001-361-489-1503. And the Facebook page is Salah Official, and the YouTube channel is Dr. Muhammad Salah. And with the first caller, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Noor from Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, ya Sheikh. Kayf al-hal? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, alhamdulillah, akhi. Thank you.
MashaAllah. Okay. I have a couple of questions regarding recitation of the Quran. The first question is in the recitation of Fatiha. I know there's this Imam that we follow in the reciting Fatiha, where it says Malik Yawmiddin. He says Malik Yawmiddin. So I want to know whether it is okay to recite it such way. Instead of Malik, he says Malik Yawmiddin.
Yeah.
That's my first question. My second question, Sheikh, is in this Surah Al-Haqqah, where it says وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. So someone was telling me that it is not okay to stop and say وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ, because that he actually shows possession. So I don't know, because I hear some people stop there and then they recite the end. So I want to know whether it is okay to stop there, or you have to recite the whole thing.
Any other questions?
Same thing. Yes, I can't remember the other surah where it also says وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. So do you also have to combine that one? كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ. Do you have to combine it, or is it okay to recite each ayah one by one?
Okay.
I think that's all my question.
Assalamu alaikum. Are you from Canada? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Dr. Salah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, akhi, barakallah fikum, jazakallahu khairan. Go ahead.
Dr. Salah, I have three questions for you. My first question is it permissible to say Bismillah in the washroom while making wudu if the washroom has a toilet? My second question is how high should a person's clothes be above their ankles? Like if there's any specific measurement. Third question is what's the minimum number of people that can make a jama'ah, like a congregation for Salah? That's it.
Okay. Jazakallah khairan.
Okay, Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Noor from Nigeria, his first question is it alright if the Imam were to recite in Surah Al-Fatiha Maliki Yawmiddin instead of Maliki Yawmiddin? Yes, and it is an approved recitation. Both are correct. His second question is in Surah Al-Haqqah, the ayah of فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا فَيَقُولُ هَاؤُمُ اقْرَءُوا كِتَابِيَهْ. The other one is in Surah Al-Inshiqaq, the one which you're referring to. In Surah Al-Haqqah, it's one ayah. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَيَقُولُ هَاؤُمُ اقْرَءُوا كِتَابِيَهْ. One ayah. And in Surah Al-Inshiqaq, it consists of two ayahs. أما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا. So in Surah Al-Inshiqaq, you recite فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه and you stop. Then فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا and you stop at the head of the ayah. This is what is recommended. Excuse me. While in Surah Al-Haqqa it is one ayah. And the ayah indicates that it is recommended to stop at the top of the ayah, يعني by the end of the ayah. While in the middle of the ayah there are some other recommendations, Sad, Lam, Ya, which means it is permissible to stop, but it is better to continue reciting. Qaf, Lam, Ya, Qili. It means that it is better to stop here. Okay? But if you were to continue, it is permissible. There is a meme, lazim, so it is treated as if it is an ayah. Okay? But in Surah Al-Haqqa, it's one ayah. فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فيقول هاؤم اقرءوا كتابيه. Some people have a short breath, so they stop at it, and they cannot just recite the full ayah in one breath. Is it permissible? Yes, it is permissible. Akhi Ayyub from Canada, making wudu in the bathroom. Making wudu in the bathroom. And as you know that it is the sunnah, it is recommended to recite al-basmalah in the beginning of al-wudu. So do we recite it while in the bathroom? You do not recite it audible. You do not recite it while moving your tongue. You recite it in yourself. Okay? And al-basmalah is recommended in the beginning of the wudu, and it is not a condition for its validity, nor is it a must, according to the more right view. The second is after you finish your wudu. There are some set of recommended supplications. Do not recite them in the bathroom. The bathroom in which you answer the call of nature, you're not supposed to recite any supplication or even to talk unless if it is necessary. So after you finish your wudu, you step out of the bathroom and then you can recite أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم اجعلني من التوابين واجعلني من المتطهرين. And when you recite so, the 8 gates of heaven will be open wide for you to enter from whichever gate you like. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Saeed from Nigeria.
Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh.
Naam, assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Please, I have a question.
Naam.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm listening.
Please, my question is about Zakat.
Naam. I would appreciate if you can just say your question all at once, Saeed, please.
Yes, I want to ask if one can give the Zakat to one's relative that is less, that is not.
طيب. I guess you're asking about paying your zakat to the relatives. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Fawziya from the UK. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Doctor, are you listening me?
Yes, I hear you very well. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually I want to speak you first time. Jazakallah for this platform. Actually, I have a problem. I have a migraine. So I'm suffering in migraine since last 3-4 years. And in this Ramadan, since last 4 days, I'm suffering. It's bad and terrible. So, and with fasting as well. So kindly make dua for me and suggest me any Quranic dua on something, because I'm fed up from tablets and medicine. So that's why I'm calling you.
Sister Fawziya, I ask Allah, the Lord of the Great Throne, to cure you and give you a speedy recovery. And what you can do yourself is put your right hand on your head, on your forehead, or wherever you're experiencing the aching, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min sharri ma ajidu aw hadir, or a'udhu bi qudrati Allahi wa izzatihi min sharri ma ajidu aw hadir. And you just recite Surah Al-Fatiha while your right palm is on your head. You recite Surah Al-Fatiha, you recite Ayat Al-Kursi, you recite Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad and Al-Falaq and Al-Nas. and this is one of the best means of ruqyah. In addition to myself and the viewers, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you a speedy recovery, shifa, and all those who are suffering or experiencing any pain, aching, or sickness. It is also excuse me. It is also worth of mentioning here that with severe migraine, that you cannot bear the pain and you need to take your tablet or your medication, you're allowed to break your fast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want any of the believers to hurt themselves. يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Look what Allah says when He was explaining the mandate of fasting. Allah wants to give you yusr, yani ease. Allah wants to make your life easy. He doesn't want to make your life miserable. لا يريد بكم العسر. He does not intend, nor does He like anyone to experience hardship and difficulty. So whether you're permitted to break your fast or not, yes, you are permitted. Should you feel that you have to take the medication and you cannot afford it, then go ahead and break your fast, and you can make up this day after Ramadan, inshallah, or if it is more than one day. Assalamu alaikum. Mustafa from the USA. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Akhi wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have a question, sir.
Naam.
Yeah, Sheikh, a few months ago, I don't have insurance, so I don't have insurance, so I had to go to what is Christian missionaries, where they treat people. You see Muslim, everybody go there, they treat you, they take care of you, so they're able to help me out, treat me with a lot of stuff, Sheikh. So, Sheikh, my question is, can I donate money? Because they want you, they do all this drive so that you donate money to them, help them as charity. So, Sheikh, I'm asking, as a Muslim, can I donate money to them?
Yes, you are allowed to donate voluntary charity to non-Muslims, those who are in need, or those who assist those who are in need. The restriction is only concerning the zakah, which is exclusively for Muslims, the mandatory zakah. But out of your pocket, you want to give voluntary charity to an organization whom you know that they feed the poor, they treat those who cannot afford it. Yes, it's permissible, and you will be rewarded as well. Seeking the countenance and the pleasure of Allah. In Surah Al-Insan, Akhi Mustafa, look, this is not an opinion of an open-minded sheikh or somebody who's trying to be Americanized or Westernized. This is what Allah said in the Quran, Akhi. Allah the Almighty says in Surah Al-Insan, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. Among those whom Allah admired the believers for feeding and assisting financially al-miskin, the poor, Muslims or non-Muslims, al-yatim, the orphans, Muslims or non-Muslims, al-asir, the captives, the prisoners of war. And obviously the prisoners of war are only non-Muslims, and they're not any non-Muslims. They're enemies. They were arrested and they were captured on the battlefield attempting to kill Muslims. But now they are in your custody, so feed them, treat them. But they don't deserve it. No, Allah says feed them and treat them, and you will be rewarded for that. Why do we do that? ابتغاء وجه الله. إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله. Seeking the pleasure of Allah. We do not need neither thanks, compensation, or gratitude from you. But zakah, zakatul fitr, zakatul mal, the mandatory alms to be paid to those who are Muslims, eligible Muslims. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفات قلوبهم والغارمين وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله. How many? 8 Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. Subhanallah, I'm cool all day long, even whenever I'm reciting my sabaq or Quran. Then when the live program starts, I start coughing. You just need a little bit, a sip of water, but we're fasting, so alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. Umar from Australia. عمر. السلام عليكم. نعم. Ziyad from Libya.
Yes.
نعم.
Go.
Ziyad, go ahead. I hear you. Ziyad. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Can I ask my question?
You may. Go ahead.
Sheikh, please, my question is regarding Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once again.
Please go ahead and say your question.
Sheikh, كيف حالك?
Yes, Ziyad, what is your question, Akhi? Go ahead.
No, my question is regarding Salat al-Eid at house.
نعم.
If you are only one single person that you want to pray, concerning the first takbir, is it allowed for only one person to pray at home the first takbir, right? 7 takbir, and the second rakat to 5 takbir? So I want to know if whether you can do away with that one, only you at home.
Okay, your question. Ziyad from Libya. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Ramla from the KSA, welcome to Ask Huda.
Yes, doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Doctor, I have two questions.
Yeah.
Basically, number one question is, my brother is needy and he is under debt also, in a way that he is unable to pay his house rent, and I was paying his rent from previous years. And my zakat, and when I calculated my zakat, it is around 2,70,000 Pakistani rupees. So my question is, so can I pay my complete full zakat to my brother only so he can pay off his debt, and after paying his debt from the remaining zakat money, he can pay rent by his own, which I was paying previously? So is it permissible that he can utilize my whole zakat in paying off his debt and paying the house rent for the next year?
Yes, it is permissible, Sister Ramla.
Okay, so can I go for the second question?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, please. Basically, I was checking my bank statement for calculating zakat. So, and I want to know the Hijri date since my account was opened. So after checking the date when I opened my account was 25th July 2011. And checking the Hijri calendars, there are many Hijri calendars that are showing 25th July as 24 Shaban. But many few calendars are showing it as 23rd Shaban. So I'm confused either which Shaban should I select, either 24 Shaban or 23rd Shaban.
Consider the 23rd.
What? Sorry?
Consider the one which says 23rd.
I'm not getting you.
The 23rd of Sha'ban option is better for you to choose.
23rd Shaban?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Jazakallah.
You're most welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Fatima from the USA. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. So I have two questions.
Naam.
My first question is, if someone has gold more than nisab, but do not have enough earnings on daily basis, would they be eligible for zakat?
Okay.
And my second question is, if my zakat is due by the end of, let's say, July every year, and then 1 year I do not meet the criteria for zakat, so I don't pay that year, but then do I start paying zakat as soon as I have nisab, or do I maintain it for a year and then give? And would my due date change?
طيب. That's a good question. And allow me to jump into answering this question right away before I take another calls, so that you have the questions in mind and the answer immediately. Zakah on gold and jewelry. Imam Abu Hanifa as you have been educated in this regard so many times, is the Imam who says a woman should pay zakah on her jewelry even if she wears them on annual basis. Al-Jumhur, the vast majority of the scholars, are of the view that if you normally wear your jewelry, then you don't pay zakah on that. When we come to a woman who says, I have nothing but my gold, and I don't even have cash to pay zakah on my gold, if she happened to follow the opinion of the vast majority of the scholars, she is not blameworthy. If, alhamdulillah, you like myself, you like to follow Imam Abu Hanifa in this respect, then you will be required to sell part of your gold to come up with the zakah, okay, because that is zakatable. I hope the answer is clear. Second question. Somebody possessed 6 grams. That is the amount of 85 grams of gold. And it was last year, mashallah, middle of Shaitaan, beginning of Ramadan. This year, when the person invested some money in partnership here and there, he lost everything. So 15th of Shaitaan last year, he had $10,000, 10K. When he invested them, he lost them. Or they became only 4,000, yani less than the nisab. The nisab is the value which is equivalent to the value of 85 grams of gold, yani approximately $6,000, okay, based on today's prices of the gold, 24 karat. But during the year, either I spent the money, or I bought a car, or I put down payment for Hajj or whatever, so I went below the nisab. Now, a couple months later, I earned another amount and I went above the nisab. Do we consider the beginning and the end only, or what is in between the intervals and ups and downs are considered? The ups and downs are considered. So whenever once you went below the nisab, then this amount, the past period, is not zakatable. And again, you started possessing the amount which is zakatable, which is a nisab, so that is the beginning date of a new calendar, of a new lunar year, from the day you started possessing this. So if there was a drop in the middle, that breaks the sequence and will start over from the day you started possessing an amount which is called nisab or zakatable. Barakallahu feekum. Next, assalamu alaikum. Sister Layla from the UK.
Yes, sir. Yes, Chef. My 5 years old is asking, like, does the shaitan sleep? I don't know. I've never even thought about this. So
does the shaitan
sleep?
Oh, does the shaitan sleep? That's a good question. But you know what? You can answer her, I wish, because if he sleeps, we'll take a break. All right?
Yes.
Yeah, if the shaitan takes a nap, wow, that would be great. So we can stay up. Whenever the shaitan is asleep, we can stay up. We can do our business. No, the shaitan does not sleep, Sister Layla. I hope he sleeps forever. Assalamu alaikum. Safi from Gambia.
Hello?
Naam, Safi, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have a question to ask.
Go ahead. But you know, you would need to mute the device on which you're watching me.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Great. Now, what is your question?
My question is about the Duha prayer, like the sunrise prayer.
What about it?
Yes, like in the Gambia here, we pray Fajr at 5:30. And when I ask around how the time to pray the Duha prayer, they say that it's about like 9 o'clock or 10 a.m.
That can't be true. That's not possible. Duha prayer, Sister Safi, is 15
Yeah.
minutes past sunrise. And this is something in Gambia you can easily detect. You just open the windows, you see sunrise. MashaAllah, give it 15 minutes, then you can start praying Duha. Till when? Till another 15 minutes before Dhuhr time. Okay? So you have plenty of time, several hours to pray Duha. Thank you, Safi from Gambia. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Fatima from the USA.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have two questions. My first question is about how much do you need to have in your account to be zakat eligible? And my second question is that, like two sisters, two co-wives that don't get along, and the other sister set a rules that one should not call on other one days. So that means when the husband step out of the other one's house, and you are not allowed to call until he's returned back to you. That means 2 days
and you
you
guys-
don't hear from your husband. What are the rules on that? And if the other sister don't agree with that, and what would she do?
Sister Fatima, I have a couple questions for you. And this situation is happening in the USA? I mean, the co-wives are living together in the USA?
Yes, they are not living in the same apartment, like they in the same house, but they live in the same city.
In the same building?
No, in the same city.
In the same city. So why do you get in touch? Why do they call each other? What is the purpose if they fight?
No, the other sister asked the husband, the other co-wife should not call when she's around or when it's her days. Like, each one had 2 days. And when the husband is not with the other sister should not call. So sometimes the sister don't know what time to call the husband, or like the husband say, don't call me, or text me if you need me unless if it is emergency. So the other sister don't want to agree that, and it became a problem. So now she don't know what to do, whether she wanna step up to her marriage or she will stay there because
I got your
this is like,
questions, Sister Fatima.
Yeah.
Poor man. Okay, I got your questions. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Aisha from Gambia. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My question is, I want to know the fatwa for kids in prayer. If it is the same as first, you don't need to answer it. And the second one is, I'm living with my
I didn't
two
get
kids.
your first question,
One
Sister
is 8.
Aisha.
Just a
Sister Aisha, I didn't get to hear
Okay,
your
what
first
I'm saying is that I want to know I just want to know when should kids start actually praying? Like, when is prayer obligatory on a child? Is it the same as the fatwa for kids in Zakat? Because I asked that question the last time, so I don't want to bother you if it is the same. And if you get the question now, the second question is, I'm single.
Okay. You're single? Muhammad from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum, akhi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh. I have two questions. One is NRI account back in India. So we get some interest whenever we send the money or whenever we keep the money there. So how we give this money, and how we give this interest money, to whom we should give. And the second one, regarding coloring for the hair. I know mehendi is allowed, but besides black color, any color like we can apply on beard or head, and same thing for female also. Can you please explain?
Okay, thank you, brother Muhammad from United Arab Emirates. Before we take a short break, there was Ayub from Canada. The clothes, as long as they are not below the ankle, they are okay. This is for men. Jama'ah, the congregational prayer, can be offered by an imam and one follower. But for the Jumu'ah, the least, according to Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on him, one imam and 3 followers. Ibn Hazm still insists that even in Jumu'ah, an imam and another person who is required to pray Jumu'ah can hold the Jumu'ah prayer. But for the rest of the 5 daily prayers, it will be sufficient to have an imam and just one follower. And that one follower can be your son, your daughter, your wife, your mom, as long as you're the one who's leading the prayer. Soon after the break, inshallah, I will be addressing the matter of Salatul Eid, even if you're by yourself. Inshallah, I'll be back in a few minutes, so I would kindly request you to stay tuned. We'll be back, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Our phone numbers should appear on the bottom of the screen for your reference, and we already have some callers. Assalamu alaikum. Rumi from the USA, assalamu alaikum. Rumi, assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Naam, assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Assalam. Sorry, this is Shazia, not Rumi.
No problem. Sister Shadia, assalamu alaikum. I say
Welcome,
whatever I was
Assalam.
told. Yes, welcome to Ask Huda.
Yes, Sheikh, I have 2 questions. One is I asked you before few days earlier, like about the Ishraq Salah, that you told me that if you pray with the congregation in the morning, then you get the blessing as that you perform a Hajj, right?
Yeah.
But what about the ruling for women that who sits from from Fajr to all the way to the Ishraq, and after 15 minutes she performs the Salah and she does everything what it says. So, and she's not doing Salah with the congregation because she's doing home alone. So if she gets the same blessing?
Okay, that's a good question, Sister Shadia. And go ahead.
Yeah, second question is about the, okay, lot of women in Southeast Asia, from there, they pray differently than men, because the scholar says, women's supposed to pray differently. And they said, if you ask for evidence where it says, they say, it doesn't say the evidence like how women do the ramal in tawaf, they walk and men run, and stuff like that. That kind of evidence they give, and they say the women supposed to walk in tawaf. It doesn't say any hadith, but they do, because a lot of scholars agree on that. But for when it comes to Salah, I see a lot of scholars says women and men supposed to pray exactly the same way, because Prophet ﷺ said that. But they say no, it's not, like women supposed to pray differently, like they supposed to stand differently.
I got your question. Yeah, I got your questions. Do you have another one?
Right. No, not right now. That is for now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Maryam from Canada, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Sheikh. How are you?
How are you, Sister Maryam? Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, I have 6 questions. I will make them very brief and fast.
6 questions, mashallah. Let me grab a new sheet. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. My husband leads Taraweeh. He reads from the Musaf, but sometimes he makes mistakes when reciting some of the verses. So how can I go about correcting him during the Salah without offending him or him incurring any sins of incorrect recitation, and ensuring reward for both of us, inshallah? That was my first question. The second one is, when my husband leads Salat at home, does he have to give Akama, as I'd be the only one following? It's just the 2 of us. My next question is, I attend Tafsir class online and I continue my house chores, which includes cleaning the washrooms. So is this permissible as the word of Allah is being said and learned? Out of habit, sometimes I read the Basmala even at the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah. Is that okay, or have I committed any sin? Can you explain why this surah does not have any Basmala at the beginning? Um, Next one is there any specific supplication for getting jobs for those who have lost theirs during this pandemic, or increasing in risk for those who are suffering losses in their wealth? And my last question is, here in Canada, some of us are still required to come into work. Therefore, staying awake the entire night is not possible, especially since Isha is past 10:30 at night. In this case, is it okay to sleep for part of the night and worship the remaining half in the hopes of catching Laylatul Qadr? How would you advise going about it? Jazakallah khair for your responses.
Thank you, Sister Maryam. MashaAllah, you made it very quick. But in order to answer them, I would request the viewers to stop calling anymore. MashaAllah, that's an episode by itself. We'll take one more call for now. Muhammad from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Shaykh. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Shaykh?
Alhamdulillah, shukrullah. Muhammad, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, Shaykh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Let Allah bless all mu'min, all Muslims in the world who are in struggles because of the COVID, Shaykh. That's what I just want to say. Ameen to everybody also.
Ameen. Ameen. Shukran, akhi. Thank you so much.
Shaykh, I have a small two question.
No.
One is the in the Laylatul Qadr day, thus the Isha count, the Isha prayer is counted also in the Laylatul Qadr. That is my first question. Second question is, Sheikh, in the Kunut, when we do the Qiyamul Layl, the Kunut, can we do in any other languages apart from Arabic?
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Sheikh. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So let's put the calls on hold because we have quite a few questions we need to tackle. Ziyad from Libya about the Eid prayer by yourself. There is a video on my page about the recommendation of offering the Eid prayer, especially during this lockdown at home, with any number of family members, even if you're by yourself. It is also recommended if a person during the regular times missed the Eid prayer, it is recommended to make it up even by himself. So accordingly, if you're living by yourself, a man or a woman, it is recommended to pray the Eid prayer at home. We're done with that. Then we have our sister who's a co-wife, and her sister wife is asking her husband not to let her call her whenever he is staying with her. You know, when somebody decides to do this matter of having another wife, then he is bearing and shouldering big responsibility, and he's encountering a lot of trouble. You know how sometimes, because we are in lockdown with the kids, and sometimes they drive us crazy. Imagine you are in lockdown 24/7, your entire life. She said no, she's the one who said, and stuff like that. So you just need to let go, forgive, forbear, and be patient. Otherwise, it will be very hectic. Life will be really miserable. If that upsets her, and this is something that every woman, even righteous women, would experience. You know, when Safiya, radiyallahu anha, the mother of the believers, sent a bowl of food, a gift, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he had guests. And it wasn't her day, it was Aisha's day. So the guests were sitting with the Prophet in Aisha's room, chamber. And Safiya sent the bowl of food. Aisha couldn't take it. So she got hold of the bowl in front of the guests and she broke it and threw it on the floor. So that is understood. So if that is creating problems, text them whenever you need to, and avoid calling in order to avoid creating trouble for yourself, for your husband, and the other sister. May Allah make it easy for you. I mean, and for him. The amount of zakah, the money which is zakatable, we said, and I'm not going to get bored of repeating over and over and over. If alhamdulillah, shukla, you've been saving some money, and you have 3,000, 4,000, 6, 7, which amount, if I keep it for one complete lunar year, I must pay zakah whenever the year is rounded up. the amount which is equivalent to the price of 85 grams of gold. That value varies every day from one day to another. So sometimes today, whenever I'm ready to pay my zakah, I check out the market, and the 85 grams of gold, they're worth $5,000. How much do you have? Well, I only have 4,000. Don't worry about it. Now I have 10, I have 15. When did you start possessing 5,000? That was exactly a year ago. Alhamdulillah. Now we gotta pay zakah on that. So when we use the gold or the silver measurement, is to tell you that the nisab varies based on the prices of gold and silver. Muhammad from the UK, zakah to the relatives. It is more worthy than paying zakah to non-relatives. You get double reward, even if it is zakatu al-fitr. Okay. Muhammad from United Arab Emirates. Muhammad from United Arab Emirates asked about the interest money which is accumulated on his money that is that he is saving in the bank. What shall I do with it? Nowadays, everybody needs money. There are a lot of poor people. You can pay that money towards the human appeal. They will send it to the poor, to the orphans. This is not an act of charity. This is an act of getting rid of a haram that you have earned unlawfully and unwillingly. You don't want it. So this is a good faith of showing that I don't want this money. If you keep it for yourself, you are encountering the curse of Allah, because Allah says, لَعَنَ اللَّهُ الرِّبَى آكِلَهُ وَمُؤْكِلَهُ وَكَاتِبَهُ وَشَهِدَهُ. I don't want it. I don't want to be cursed. So give it to the poor, a hospital raising fund for chemotherapy, an orphanage, a school, all of that you may give it to them, but not to your family members, because you become a beneficiary. So you're not allowed to benefit out of it either way. Mariam from Canada, her husband leads her in the prayer and he makes mistakes. Correct him. If you're a hafiz, correct him, and there is no hurt feeling. My wife does the same with me. My kids, all my kids, they correct me in the prayer. Okay? Because you're leading the Taraweeh, and you lead in the Fard, and you lead in Tahajjud too. You get sore throat, you make mistakes, you confuse an ayah with another. So you find, mashallah, the 7 years old correcting you. Those who have memorized the Quran, they can easily detect any mistake more than the adults. If I get mad at them, then I'm at fault. As a matter of fact, when they correct me the other day, when I made a mistake and I confused two different surahs, so when I finished, my daughter said, Abi, you've made a mistake. You recited from Ghafir and you're supposed to be in surah whatever. So I was very happy. I gave her a hug and I compensated her. I gave her a gift, very valuable gift. Why? It makes me happy. My wife is a hafiz, my kids are hafiz. It makes me delighted. It shouldn't hurt his feeling. I don't know why he should be mad at you. The second question, if your husband is leading you in the prayer, it's just you and him, shall he call the iqamah? Yes, because he's an imam. Washing the bathrooms while listening to the tafsir class which you're enrolled in, or listening to the Quran, it is okay. You're not reading. Doing your homework, washing the dishes, okay? All of that, listen to the Quran or listen to the tafsir classes, no problem. In the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah, there is no basmala. I explained that in the program of correct recitation in length. For the sake of time, I will just tell you right now, no, it is not permissible to recite the basmala in the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah. It is the only surah in the Quran which does not begin with the basmala. Rather, it begins with a serious warning to the kuffar. So al-basmala is full of mercy, ar-Rahman and ar-Rahim, and that doesn't get along with the serious warning of punishment in the beginning of the surah. supplication to get a job, I found the dua of ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار is fit to be recited in every condition, either to ward off an evil, to protect against COVID-19, or to inquire a job, or to get an increase in your risk, or to increase the level of your iman, to get a good wife, a good spouse, good children. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. There are other supplications such as اللهم أغنني بحلالك عن حرامك وبفضلك عمن سواك. Amazing supplication. Oh Allah, enrich me out of your bounty with the halal so that I don't have to resort to the haram. Okay? So that I don't have to ask anyone else other than yourself. اللهم أغنني بحلالك عن حرامك وبفضلك عمن سواك. The supplication, the set of supplications of the morning and the evening actually include a lot of dua which are perfectly used in these circumstances. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن والعجز والكسل والجبن والبخل وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال. Okay? In Canada, those who are still working, if they stay up all night to witness Laylatul Qadr, they will not be able to go to work in the morning. You don't have to stay up all night. I'm talking about those who are in lockdown. I'm talking about those who can take days off. I'm talking about those whose work schedule allows them to stay up all night. They should take advantage. You know, I would, even if I'm going for Umrah, I would schedule my travel plans so that I would not waste any time during those nights. But if, alhamdulillah, nowadays people are losing their jobs right and left. In America is approximately 35 million American citizens lost their jobs. So sometimes if you're holding on a job and you have to go to work early morning and you say, I'm taking off or I'm on a vacation, you may lose your job. So they say in Arabic, ما لا يدرك كله لا يترك جله. Do as much as you can out of it. Pray Isha and Taraweeh, then go to sleep. And you get up anyway for suhoor, eat your suhoor meal. This is an act of worship. Pray a few rak'ahs and make dua during this time, which is the best time of as-sahar. Okay? Do as much as you can. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. So it is not possible. Today I was thinking about the same thing. Asking people to stay up all night long. Then stay until it is ishraq or sunrise. Then go to work and come back at time of iftar. Then stay up again. It's not possible. You have to be realistic. So if you cannot sleep during the day, then you would have to sleep during the night. And anyway, it's only 5 days and 5 or 4 nights left. Make certain to take advantage of this pleasant time. Akhi Muhammad. And there was one sister who was asking about in their country how the women pray different than men, and they have an explanation to that. Let me share this with you because my foundation is Hanafi. So I've been following Imam Abu Hanifa since I recognized the word fiqh and what it means. Literally since I was 12 years old, studying heavily everything about Imam Abu Hanifa, Abu Yusuf, Muhammad, wa Zufar, his students. So at that time, and for 7 years, we knew the Hanafi inside, outside. And I'm familiar with what you said. And I used to tell my mother that whenever you pray, so women, they put their hands on their chest, the right on the left. But men, their hands beneath the navel, for instance. And in ruku', and the ruku' for women is incomplete. They shouldn't bow down completely. In sujood, they should pull their hands and their elbows next to their sides and so on. For the sutra. Then you grow up, when you study different madahib, and you study a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said in one hadith, صَلُّوا كَمَا رَأَيْتُمُونِي أُصَلِّي. So 15 years ago, I filmed a program which is called The Prophet's Prayer. The Prophet's Prayer for Huda TV. And it wasn't only relying on Abu Hanifa's views, it was the collection of all the views based on the most sound hadith. Because if Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi was alive, he would have followed the same. He would have picked up the book of Imam Albani with regards to the description of the Prophet's prayer, and he would pray according to that. Because all of us as Muslims, whether you're Pakistani, you know, some people from particular part of the world, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, they follow the Hanafi madhab. Sri Lanka, amazingly, they follow the Shafi'i madhab. And similarly, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, strictly Shafi'i. Okay, alhamdulillah. But it is my role to teach everyone, whether you are in this locality or that locality, this is what the Prophet ﷺ said, this is what he did, and this is what he used to do. And alhamdulillah, shukrullah, if you take it and if you act upon it, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of us. Akhi Muhammad, finally from the KSA. Isha prayer on the night of Al-Qadr, does this count as of the Qiyam? Of course. Any prayer from sunset until the dawn is Qiyam. Sunnah after Maghrib. Sunnah for Isha. Isha prayer itself. Okay? So when you pray, and guess what? I want to tell you one thing. Salatul Isha, the Isha prayer of any night, including Laylatul Qadr, is better than any nafila you pray after. Why? Because the Almighty Allah says, ما تقرب إلي عبدي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضته عليه. What is given precedence before Allah is offering the mandatory acts of worship. Then there comes the nawafil, including the sunnah, emphatic or non-emphatic, before or after, including the tarawih, including the tahajjud, and the night prayer. We ran out of time a long while ago. By that we come to the end of today's edition of Ask Huda. Until tomorrow, inshallah, I leave you all in the care of Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech.